Today we're looking at the new Apple TV for 2022. This is the 4K version plus Ethernet 3rd generation with 128 gigabytes of storage. Definitely going to be one of the more expensive streaming devices out there. You're going to get Dolby Atmos. It's got the A15 Bionic chip, so it should be pretty fast as far as performance goes and just moving around the software. Also is going to work with Siri. You'll have the option of Wi-Fi or Ethernet with this one. You can also pair this with the HomePod Mini and acts as a home hub to connect and control smart home accessories. It's got 4K, HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos. And then of course, this is going to work with your other Apple devices as well. Okay, it's got a little bit of weight to it. Inside the box, you got a quick start guide, safety and warranty information. Pretty heavy duty power cord here. Probably the only streaming device I've used where the remote control is made of aluminum. It has a little weight to it, but not as much as you would think. Definitely feels pretty high quality for a remote control, that's for sure. Even has Usbc charging there on the bottom. On the remote control, you've got your directional arrows, OK button there in the middle. The remote has a touch-enabled clickpad. You can swipe through episodes, scenes, or kind of move around a little bit easier. Then you got your back button, play, mute, volume controls, power button. Plus you have the Apple TV shortcut and your voice or Siri button there on the side. Kind of wish they made this silver, really. Then it won't look quite as dusty over time. Pretty simple design. Your HDMI and Ethernets here on the back, along with where you plug in the power. Sort of a soft touch plastic on the bottom. Kind of wish that was silicone, really. Overall, really nice looking design. It looks like really nice build quality. Setting up Apple TV is going to be somewhat similar to other devices, maybe slightly different though. It allows you to set up using your iPhone or manually. You can also use Siri on here as well. Interesting thing is, if you don't have an Apple ID, it lets you skip this step. So I did that because I was curious what it would look like without logging in. If you have a TV provider, you can also log in with that on here and get access to those apps supported by your cable or TV subscription. Once you choose where you're putting the Apple TV, you have an aerial screensaver option, which is kind of a nice touch in my opinion. Then on the home screen, you have shortcuts along the bottom, almost like on a dock, similar to a Mac or other Apple device. You've also got Apple TV, music, photos, arcade, and workouts. Then you've got the App Store, podcasts, movies, TV shows, through iTunes, search, computers, and settings. Under settings, you've got most of your typical stuff like screensaver, appearance, sleep after, restrictions, privacy, languages, keyboard layout, dictation. You can also do light and dark theme on here, several settings for Siri. You can manage your storage, video and audio settings. Also has color calibration. Obviously you've got AirPlay and HomeKit settings, and you can add Bluetooth controllers or keyboards on here as well. Then you've got accessibility, apps, network, system, and sleep now. Overall, I like the layout on here. It's pretty simple, and if you're not familiar with Apple TV devices, it doesn't really take long to get used to. It also feels like you're getting quite a bit of Apple related content on here that's going to work really well with your existing Apple devices that you may already have. You can also search for things on here in several different ways, like alphabetical order, by category, or by voice search. It's also interesting to see things on here like podcasts, since you don't really see that promoted on other streaming devices. This might even be one of the easiest devices to do screen mirroring on. If you have an iPad or iPhone, it appears to be almost instant with hardly any lag. Might even be a little more responsive than say on a Chromecast. You can even play games on here from your iPad with hardly any lag at all, which is pretty impressive. The performance on here also seems to be really nice, probably one of the fastest out there, which it should be considering the price. This does feel a little more premium compared to some of the competition as well. If you already have several other Apple devices, this might make a lot of sense to get something like this, since they seem to work so well together. But for the average person, I'm not sure if getting the most expensive streaming device to watch things like Netflix or whatever streaming service you like to use is going to make the most sense, especially if you're using Android. And considering there's a ton of competition out there, you could get a pretty similar experience for a lot less money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.